She was located in a 300-yard by 100-yard burrow pit. We had no idea until we got in it, and yes, we had to get in the water to get her, find out what all was in there. We had no idea what chemicals had leached in there or anything like that. When we got her, she seemed to be perfectly healthy on the outside, but you can be fooled by sea turtles a lot by assuming that they're completely healthy that way. So we decided to bring her on in and make sure that if she did have parasites, which she did, on the inside, we got all of the parasites removed and got her up healthy, and not only that, upped her body weight enough to be released so that when she gets released, she'll be okay trying to figure out where she wants to go and what she wants to do without having to worry about feeding as much. This is the first time one's ever been captured here and released here with a satellite tag. The satellite tag, every time the animal breaks the surface of the water, a satellite will pick her up and then it'll digitally relay the information to a map. And in the end, what will happen is you can go on to LDWF's website, or you can go on to Audubon's website, and you'll be actually be able to click on a link and track the turtle. You can watch where she goes and her movements, and they're going to give you her movements by days, miles, and yards. So it's pretty amazing, and this is going to be the first time she's big enough. She's a 90-pound Kemp's Ridley. She's an adult, which means she can also lay eggs. So it's really great information if we can actually get that in the next year of data that we're going to collect off of her, is if she's going to go to the original nesting site, which is actually located in Mexico. First of all, we had to put down an anchoring epoxy, and we overdo it. It looks completely overdone, and it is. And it's done that way because it is going to be involved in salt water. It's going to be attached to her. We're hoping generally it makes it about 255 days is the length of the battery and the length of the adhesive. Other people have researched this and suggested to us a certain type of anchoring cement that we used, and we not only put it on the bottom of the tag, but it's all over the top of the tag, all along the sides of the tag, so it gave us a really good broad platform. Then on top of that, we put what's called an anti-fouling paint, which is what generally people who own boats put on the bottom of their boats so that barnacles and parasites can't attach to their boat. Same exact policy here. We want to make sure that nothing attaches to the top of the anchoring cement or onto the satellite itself. The parts that are left exposed to the satellite are the most important parts. Those are the saltwater copper ends and obviously the antenna that's going to transmit. So we're going to leave here about 7, and we should make it down to the Grand Isle to the Coast Guard. We're going to use their big boat to release her. Since she's so large, we have to have a huge container and we need a lot of deck space for her. So we should be down there about 9:30. We'll transport her from the excursion onto the boat, and then we're going to go out about 26 miles out to the oil rigs. That's where a lot of fish will hang out, a lot of things that she can eat off of, and she'll have shelter and structure, which is what she needs upon her release, so she can get oriented upon release. We'll drive out to that. We will pick one. We'll get her lat lines and release her from there. We'll wait a little while, and then the data will already start to come in as we're driving out because the satellite tag will already be turned on.
The turtle was found in Freshwater City, which is in southern Vermilion Parish in Louisiana. She was displaced due to the hurricanes last year. A member of the public phoned it into the department. Our staff spent some time observing her and obtaining some photographs of her to where we can confirm the size of her and be able to prepare what necessary gear and equipment it would need to rescue her. She was trapped in an enclosed borrow pit pond on the side of the road. The road was about 5 to 6 feet higher than the pond that she was located in. And if it wasn't for the public calling this report into the department, we would have never known she was there and never have been able to save her. And unfortunately, due to her running out of food, she probably would have periled. We're hoping that she can move around and we'll be able to gain all this data from her, and she'll be able to give us some insight from her point of view, literally, from being out in the Gulf of Mexico and migrating around. Tagging data is very valuable, and there's no other way to obtain this information. So we've had historical data where a satellite tag turtle traveled over 12,000 miles. So we're interested to see where she'll take us next.